My name is Margaret Maura from Ongacharongai, and I came here to have fun, meet new friends. I came here with weather adventures. Actually, I'm a business person, so I expected to advertise my business to the new friends I meet. So I achieved that. Yeah, I met new friends, and yeah, good to go. I had fun. Yeah, it was awesome. Like the whole experience, falling in the mud, the rain, everything. It was so exciting and awesome. I sell online. I also have a shop in town, in Fangano Street. I do all household items, and we also do countrywide deliveries. Also, you can follow my Facebook page, Maggie's Households, Instagram, Maggie's Households. I'm on all platforms, social media platforms, Maggie's Households. Duvet covers, utensils, so many items, everything in the house. Actually, to say the truth, if you can sell what I have experienced, I can't even afford it. Please come. It's awesome. They are really the offer is too good to be true, but it's awesome and it's true. For all these, yes. Actually, I have new orders.
Amazing. That was one of the things that we had for you today. And thank you so much for joining us from wherever you're watching us from. This is ENTV Live there on Facebook, and also you are getting us through Kitengela TV on Facebook and on YouTube, as well as Kitengela TV. And also you're getting us at Live Now Africa on YouTube, and also you're getting us at livenow.co.ke/ KTV right there on our global news website, livenow.co.ke, and then you put a stroke or slash KTV so that you can be able to get us. And welcome from wherever you're getting us from. And today we have news that have actually gotten the headlines, and as you usually say, we just mention it to you to keep you up to date. And the first thing we want to start with is we want to start with our condolences to the family of the KCB journalist Betty Barasa, who was shot and killed on Wednesday, 7th of April. That is just a day ago when she arrived home at home. The KBC staff, Betty Barasa, was shot on Wednesday night, and the robbers at her home in Ololua Ngong area in Kajiado County. That is the same place as Kitengela, where we actually mostly we have concentrated our viewership in Kitengela, having special interest in that area of Kajiado because it's closer to Nairobi and much more. And then Barasa, who worked as a video editor at a national broadcaster, was fatally shot upon arrival home from work at 8 p.m. And the area DCIO Joseph Chesimet told the journalist that the journalist was accosted by suspected robbers when she was driving into her compound, and they told her to go inside their house. And when they went in, they took her laptop, the mobile phone, and other unidentified items, and then they shot her. And they were 3 in number, and of course we have so many other things right there for you. So our condolences to that family, and we are saying pole sana to our fellow journalist who lost her life just like that, and we are so sorry for that. Now, looking at other things that are happening along the country, we have so many other stories, but first of all, before we go there, it is very in courtesy or in order to welcome the people that I have on board today. And our topic today, we're going to be discussing the mental health issues in our country amidst COVID-19. And as you can see, we have an amazing panel right there. Everybody stand by, ready to say something. And definitely I will start with Mr. Q. Mr. Q, karibu sana. Mr. Q, wherever you are. Karibu sana. Mr. Q is one artist, great man, who is also knowledgeable, and he's able to take us through. We are going to be talking about mental health, and he's going to be commenting and telling us what he thinks about the raising cases in Kenya, where people are, experiencing a lot of problem mentally. And yes, we also have Josie. Josie, karibu sana. Hi. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, and definitely we have, and there's someone else joining us. I'm actually supposed to get that. Karibu sana, karibu sana. What's the name? I'm trying to load here. I can't zoom in. Sabila. Is that Sabila? Yes. Sabila, you're just silent there. It's Fiona. It's Fiona, right? Is it Fiona or Sabila? Fiona sasa. Good to see you today again. Good to see you too. Yes, so now we have our panel right there. So we have Mr. Q, we have Fiona, and we have Josie. So today we are talking about mental health, and we're looking at issues that have been able to rise across our country. You could see people killing one another, people losing their life, people shooting one another and actually shooting themselves, like the case we had of that the bodyguard to Matiang'i who shot, or rather lost his life yesterday by shooting the wife and then shooting himself. And even when you listen to the story, you can tell definitely this is a mental health issue, or rather it's a mental psychological torture or something, whatever it is, in whatever the mental challenges, or rather I don't know what the right name to call that. And I know we are expecting also Jackie to be joining us along the way as we continue. But first of all, let's start with Mr. Q and hear what he has to say. Mr. Q, are Are you watching news and are you experiencing a lot of mental challenges in Kenya? And are you feeling like Kenyans, or rather even people in Africa, or rather even across the world, people are undergoing problems with their mental health?
Yes. Okay, to answer your first question, yes, I am watching the news, but I am not watching much of it. I try to deal with what's happening, in my community in real time. And what I have seen, is, in fact, I live in the Dog area, by the way, here in Nairobi. And what I have seen is some desperation because of course, the lockdowns that are happening. It really is, cutting off people's livelihoods, and especially for the creative community, the creative. As you know, I am a creative myself, I'm an artist myself, and the lockdown does not help at all for the creative. I know many individuals in the film industry as well, and the film industry is also being affected as well. Yes, and as far as the mental aspect of it, this personally, I believe that COVID, that what we are all going through across the world with COVID is a test of our mental endurance, if you will. Hey, I'm sorry, G.
It's okay.
My family is here with me. So it's a real test for the mind. Now, if you would let me, may I go into some detail, G?
Okay. All right, so that's at least I got something you said about there is desperation in the lockdown because and also film industry is affected big time, and also the creatives actually, the film industry, especially the creatives, are affected big time because of this lockdown. And you see people stay at home for long, and then they sometimes they say the empty, or rather an idle mind is a devil's workshop, and you find that because people are staying at home for very long time, and then they end up losing and the oomph, or rather the spirit, the good spirit that they had, the power of working and going out and coming back, interacting with so many people out there. And interaction is one way of keeping your mind active, and that is one of the things that people are losing out there, and it is what could be causing that particular issue that we have. And I like the way you said it is mostly into the creative, because creatives are used to meeting people, and when they don't meet people, it definitely lands them into such problems. And maybe as we continue, stay there, don't go, Mr. Q. We have to stay with you until the end of the show. I want to hear what Fiona has before we go to Josie. Maybe Fiona, what can you tell us about the mental health issue? Have you experienced anything? Have you seen anything unusual that can tell that the mental health condition of our country is not in order? To you, Fiona. Have you seen anything unusual that can tell you that the conditions in Kenya are not in order, the mental conditions? If Fiona can hear me. I don't know if Fiona could be able to hear me, but maybe Josie, you can take up that as we wait for Fiona to be able to hear us. But have you seen anything unusual, Josie, in your area, or rather as you go interact through in news and all that? Have you been able to see anything unusual to you?
Thank you very much, Gerald. Yes, I have seen many unusual things happening in our country. And, there are very bad things happening. People are killing each other, there are cases, and, it's a bad time that I'm sorry to say we are in right now. And, the things that are happening are very crazy. And then what I would say, some things are so not human, and when you hear some things, you will know that's a normal thing, and you will know people are not okay. People are having mental health issues, and I think in our African countries or in our culture, many people don't know about things like depression. People do things because they are depressed, or depression can make you do bad stuff, So I think it's just crazy, and I think we should learn and maybe learn about depression and what is causing depression, because we are right now we are living in very difficult time, and I think people should be able to trust, get someone that you trust and talk to them, just open up and tell them what you're going through, sorry, and just talk to someone, and maybe you're going to get help. That's what I would say.
Wow, that is very amazing, and especially if you have a problem and you feel like you're very down and you need someone to talk to, KTV is always here for you. Live Now Africa is always here for you. You can always drop us a text. Would rather speak to you the whole night than lose you tomorrow. I mean, we would be here. If someone talks to Josie today, if someone calls you and tells you they have a problem, instead of losing their life, wouldn't you give them a ear to listen to?
I would definitely, and I'm telling people just to listen to people, not judge them. And then we are living in a country or maybe in a society that when you post your problems on social media, people will, I don't know how people are reacting, and then maybe someone posts, I feel like I want to commit suicide right now, and then someone will just comment without even thinking, and just tell them, kill yourself, do you want me to bring you a rope so that you can hang yourself? It's crazy, and we should just act normally.
Wow, I get that. Fiona, are you there? Can you hear me this time round, Fiona? If you can hear me, Fiona, respond so that I can know we can engage you in the conversation, Fiona. All right. So have you seen anything unusual? And do you have anything unusual you have seen about that would tell you that Kenya is, or rather East Africa, or even Africa, we are suffering from mental health issues, and would you want to tell Kenyans something about it?
Yes, I have. Like about a month ago, there was a 23-year-old boy who killed his whole family. In such situations, you can tell that the child is not okay. He's suffering from some mental issues, because a normal person would need to go and attack his whole family. Even recently, there have been secondary students who attacked their watchman. Like in such situations, you have it's like they're crying out for help, and these are situations where maybe their mental health is not stable. And such things arise maybe upbringing, how they see their parents treat themselves or act towards each other. They pick up these behaviors, these tendencies, and then it later affects them in life. So mental health is a really big issue.
Yeah, and Mr. Q, probably have you?
Yes.
Do we have a way or rather, maybe because you mentioned a few things in the creative world, and we have seen the creatives are people that are actually, they are suffering a little bit because there are no events, there are no shows, there are nowhere to showcase their businesses, whatever it is they were used to get money from performances here and there is no gathering, there are no people going together. Do you think there is something, there is a solution that can be available out there? And also knowing that you're also, probably tell us a little bit more about yourself in terms of creative. What is it that you do, and how can you advise the creatives? Because if they get to understand you, they are able to even listen to you more.
Okay. From the creative front, I think that the solution needs to happen on two sides. Okay, first of all, creators, we still have some flexibility in producing content. Because, you know, some production studios or some production companies have studios where everything can be produced. And then obviously now the content can be distributed online. So you really don't have to go anywhere to do that. So COVID, in a sense, there is some leeway for creators to still be productive. Although everything cannot be confined to a studio environment, we still have to get out to the world. We still have to, relate with the community to get the stories, from the communities that we come from. Number two, also as creators, see, in my opinion, us creators are part of the problem in terms of the mental health. And we're also the solution. How are we a part of the problem? Because of the content that we put out there. If for example, I am say, a hip-hop artist. So the content that a lot of it, not to put down hip-hop. Hip-hop can be a very useful and a valuable tool. While at the same time, if it is used or if it is abused, then it will become part of the problem of mental health. How can it become part of the problem? Now you have artists who are producing content that is they're talking about let me use the word negative, negative things. They're showing, obviously they're rapping about homicide. They're rapping about, a braggadocious approach to the listener, saying that I got more of this than you do, whether it be money, cars, jewelry, or whatever the case may be. And the listener, most times the listeners are young people who have very impressionable minds. Their minds are not yet mature and developed yet to sift out or to sift through or separate or to filter what they're taking in. So, and this content, this information goes into the subconscious of our young people. And not only with the audio of music, but also the visuals of the music videos.
Definitely, we've a little bit lost you probably because of connection, but we're coming back to you. And yes, like he is saying, Mr. Q is telling us that everything cannot be confined in a studio, and creatives are part of the problem sometimes because they are actually, when they produce songs like hip hop and sometimes some type of music that makes the other person feel like they're not living life enough, in a way that probably they feel, you sing a song and then that song goes way too far in terms of making the other person feel like they're not living life enough, and probably they want to match up to this kind of lifestyle that they are seeing in the hip hop music and much more of that kind of music. It doesn't have to be hip hop alone, but then again, they end up struggling to want to match up that life, or rather to fit in, and that process you also want to, in the process of trying to chase or to reach that particular level whereby you're matching up what you're seeing on the video, what you're hearing from what the lifestyles of the celebrities. You want to match up with that life, and you end up feeling discouraged for your own life, and you find that your life does not have any meaning anymore. And as we wait for Mr. Q and the rest of the team to be able to join us once again to regain the connection, I'll say that in life, you would be sometimes wanting to match up with someone, but then your life is made to be yours, and your life is yours alone. And then the way God designed you, He designed you and gave you your own space. And within your own space, you can create so much more. You can play around with whatever the resources that you have around, and start with what you have to get what you do not have. You have a chance. You can, like we had from Josie, get someone that you can trust, someone that you know that this someone, if I talk to them, they can hear me. Sometimes we get into such problems because we allow ourselves to be confined in one dark room, in one dark area. And I'll tell you for free that when you're confined in one area and you do not have people to talk to, then you end up losing hope, and because you don't know if someone else can relate with your situations. So the best way to do is to speak about it, talk to someone, tell someone about your problem, tell someone about your challenge, so that they can be able to advise you. And even if they cannot advise you, maybe they can actually even fit into your situation and be able to hear, at least someone is there for you. So that makes Mr. Q is back. Welcome back. We had lost a little bit of connection with you, but then I was repeating what you had already said, that everything cannot be confined in a studio, and sometimes the negative effect in one song can actually get into someone's mind, making that someone to not be able to, looking at their life back, they imagine and they think that their life is not good enough. And especially when the people want to fit in the situation of that song. If I hear a particular hip hop song saying, the way I'm swimming inside money, and I have money everywhere. I have girls around me, and I have whatever I need when I need it. And then probably me, I'm listening to the song, I'm admiring, I want that kind of a lifestyle, but I'm not able to get there even 1 inch. I don't even have food tonight, but I can see someone who is swimming in girls and having money everywhere, showering girls with money, while my own girlfriend is leaving me because I do not have even money to even do something for her. So you realize that it is one of the way that people want to fit into the society, and in the process of wanting to fit in, you look at other people's life, especially the lives of celebrities, and even the vlogs and the blogs that we are seeing coming up every day. You look at people, the way they are living in their lives in there on YouTube, and you want to join that particular life, and then you end up feeling depressed and feeling like your life is worthless, and the other thing you're left with is to want to finish your own life. So Mr. Q, I heard your point, and that was very strong, that people, and maybe in the creative world, it can affect. Do you have anything else that you want to add on top of that?
Yes, I wanted to add that as a solution, coming from a creator's point of view, as a solution, I think that we as creators, it would be good for us to create content that is more uplifting. Number one, like we need to bring it back to the basics. We really need to bring it back to the basics. Come up with the basic solutions, dealing with the mind first, and focusing, putting lots of focus on our youth. But if we create content that is more uplifting, that is telling our youth, that is reminding our youth who they really are, who they truly can become, and who they really are, that we are kings, that we are queens, that we are that we are, like in terms of students, straight A students, or even high achieving students and young people, we need to continue reminding our young people, and it starts at home, of course. It starts at home, it starts with the parents, of course, but I'm just saying, since we're living in this media, highly sophisticated media technology reality where we have television, we have cell phones, everyone has access to media at their fingertips, it's a bit challenging to compete with the images that our young people see on YouTube. As a parent, it's a bit challenging to compete with the images that our young people see on television. I mean, just think, as a parent, we're with our children here in the home, maybe at the dinner table, maybe, in passing when you're at home, or this and that. But I guarantee you, in today's time, our young people have phones. They have access to media these phones, these androids are spending more time with our children than the parents themselves. And not just the parents, but also those other responsible adults, responsible adults in our community. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is we need to take back, it starts with our young people. I'm not saying that we neglect the adults who are suffering from mental illness. We capture them as well. But I'm just saying, at the same time, we should put lots of focus on our youth and begin with the basics in just basic affirmations, basic positive language into their mind, because their minds have yet been molded, completely molded. Their minds are still being molded. And so I think that is a very strong and very basic solution pertaining to our young people. In terms of now the older adults who have been suffering from mental health, who have responsibility with who have families, who have a responsibility with putting food on the table. Maybe they have lost their job. Maybe they have been working with a particular company for years, and they because of COVID, their hours, let's say, the worst case scenario, they have been fired, but let's just say maybe their hours have been cut back. For a man, for a father who has traditionally been the breadwinner, or the provider of the family, him being cut off like that from his job, whether it be hours or just being completely terminated, man, that's a lot. That's very heavy for a man's mental. And you can imagine, as men, most men are not ready or willing to open up to about such issues. So in turn, it's taken out. If that man is not strong mentally, in turn, he takes it out, on a desperate act, or whether it be a criminal act or just something that's totally sideways. So, what is the solution for that? Well, obviously, the gap between the rich or the middle, obviously the middle class, COVID is causing the middle class to erode in this country. And now either you going with the erosion, with the slow erosion of the middle class, either you are fortunate enough to take a leap into the upper class bracket of society, or you are quote unquote misfortunate enough to now to fall back on the lower class bracket of society. And with such a big gap, as you know, G, with such a big gap between the classes, and there's really no, the government is not providing any solution. The communities are really not providing any solution. The money, obviously, the economy and the money is being, the economy slows down. What is the solution? You're forced to do crime as a solution. You're forced to do crime as a solution for some of us. But personally, I have thought of solutions that can be taken for this situation. Because we know that, of course, paper money will soon, in my opinion, paper money will soon be obsolete. Of course, paper money is being converted now to digital money. And of course, now with the digital money, that is, for most of us, we have M-Pesa. We use M-Pesa to make our transactions. But now, you have to remember, with the introduction of the vaccine, that's another issue now that weighs down on our minds. Now, how long do you think we'll be able to use M-Pesa being not vaccinated or unvaccinated? When do you think that it will be a time when you will be forced, or it will be mandatory for you to take a vaccine to even use M-Pesa, to be a part of the digital economy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And not everyone is ready to take that vaccine. That would be another issue that will contribute to mental stress. Now, for those who are not ready to take that vaccine, now that really locks us out of the economy. Digital and paper economy, what's left of the paper economy. And now, what solution do we have to put food on the table, to pay our bills?
Wow.
In my opinion, there, within our individual community, in my opinion, there has to be a way where we cannot rely on digital or paper currency. It will help with the development of our minds, because we know that a lot of the mental stress and the mental issues that we as adults have, and also young people, is getting money. It's getting money. They're making it hard for us to get money through working, obviously. So how do we remove money? How can we trade just commodities alone, like the barter trade, how it used to be, to ensure that our basic needs are met? How? What can replace digital currency? What can replace paper currency to ensure that people's basic needs are met? In my opinion, that is a viable solution, and that will help with relieving some of the stress that is put on people's minds.
All right. So, yes, I heard you, Mr. Q. Thank you so much. You just have quite nice packaged food, information there. And I'm loving the way you're putting it, that sometimes it's about the food on the table, sometimes it's about the challenges we have, sometimes it's about, the weaknesses that, weaknesses that we can't talk about. And I can see Jackie has already joined us. Welcome, Jackie. It's been it's nice to see you. Mr. Q here is Mr. Q. Before I go to Jackie, Mr. Q, I know you grew up in an area that did not have the challenges that we are facing in Kenya. Probably would you want to tell us you grew up in the United States or something? Mr. Q, Mr. Q, just a little technical there. So Jackie, welcome. Good to see you, Jackie. And probably, Jackie, being in the medical industry, or rather being a clinician that you've been for quite some time, I know it is for sure people are undergoing problems, and mental health challenges is the mental challenges are real in Kenya, and people are undergoing problems here and there. And probably would love to hear what Jackie has to say in line to that medical area, or rather even not medical area, just in general. Kenyans are suffering from mental illness and mental challenges, and we can see people killing themselves around the country, and others losing their lives or killing one another. And maybe, do you have something that you would want to tell us about this mental health and how we can be able to solve it? Jackie, coming over to you. Are you there, Jackie? Can you hear me? As I wait for Jackie to show up, or rather for Jackie to be able to settle down to be able to contribute on this, we'll be waiting to hear what Jackie has to say about it from a medical perspective. But then, Mr. Q, we had a very nice, a lineup there of information. I got to capture a lot there. I was just noting down some of the things that you are saying, and we need to go back to basic by putting lots of focus on to the youth, actually, and also to other people in the society that are really willing and looking forward to such things. And Mr. Q, having been grown up from the United States, and then came over to Kenya to do whatever the career that brought him, especially in the music industry, that becomes something very nice for him. And we are able to see how the life is happening Kenya compared to other countries. But you realize mental health, it does not choose which country you are and what is it that you're doing wherever you are. But mental health is a challenge, and it's a challenge that people need to actually go back to the drawing board, or go back to basics like Mr. Q said, so that we can be able to help one another. And like Josie said, get someone you can trust and someone you can talk to, and you can be able to tell someone what exactly it is that is there. And I remember there is this particular video that we had today that of this lady in town who was getting carrying that placard and saying that I want a husband. We are not saying that is a mental health challenge, but we are trying to say maybe there is a message that she wanted to send by standing in town and showcasing that placard over there and saying that I'm looking for a husband. And you see that video went viral a little bit. And even before we go to that, there is also another video that we had yesterday where we were playing of this a father who raped a kid until to an extent that the kid had to go to hospital to be brought back together because of the harm that was caused. And that, I wouldn't say it is a mental health issue, and I wouldn't say it is insanity, and I wouldn't say, I don't want to judge, but I want us to come together and think, what is it that is ailing in Kenya amidst COVID-19, and what is the challenges that we are having around the country. And definitely, if we can be able to watch that clip of that lady who was in town carrying that placard saying that I'm looking for husband, and then we get to hear what she was saying, we would say it is a creative way of doing something. It could be a creative way. It could be, we can't call it desperation. I don't know if we can call it desperation, if that is the right word to say. We are very careful with the words that we use right there. And it's that lady was carrying the placard and saying, I'm looking for a husband. And when she's asked why she's doing this, I don't know if she was able to explain, because probably herself she didn't know why she was doing it, or rather it's true she was looking for a husband or something. I mean, these issues are there. In Kenya, we are undergoing a lot of challenges up and down, and it is high time we come together to see what can we do to help someone who is suffering from mental health right there. And one more thing that I would really love us to go into conversation, and I would want you to tell us in the comment area right below here, that what do you think, how do you get to know that you are mentally ill? How do you get to know you are actually undergoing a mental challenge like the one of depression? How do you get to know that you are under depression? Because depression is one of the mental health challenges that we have. Because mental health is just not the mad person that you see on the road that has gone. That is the extreme levels of mental health, when you see someone going mad or going insane. But just before you go there, there is other levels like depression, even stress itself is a mental challenge, and there are things that you can do, or rather 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 things that you can do to overcome stress. And some of those things is things like going out there and work out, find a space out there and have a game to play, have friends, get out and walk, engage in exercise, engage in post-curricular activity or other co-curricular activities, don't overwork yourself, don't be a workaholic, and then also try to unwind and also try to discuss your issues. Be easy to say what is disturbing you. When you don't like something, say it easily that I don't like what I am seeing. Or rather, if you want something, say easily that this is what I want and this is what I want people to help me to do. So that whenever you have a challenge, you don't look at it as if you are the problem. Do not beat yourself up too much because of having a challenge here and there. Just always take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, nobody else will. You have to be careful about yourself, your mind, your heart, your soul, and be able to be at peace with at least everybody around you. And remember, you cannot make everyone happy, and not unless you want to sell ice cream. So don't struggle. Another one of the things and the reasons why sometimes people go into stress, or rather go to mental challenges, is because of wanting to make everyone happy around you. I mean, you cannot make everyone happy around yourself, even if you have a family, even if you have a friend. Sometimes it's good to go back to yourself and call for yourself for a meeting. Whether you have a family, you have close people that look up to you and all this, even if you cannot deliver, tell someone that I cannot deliver this and this, and actually never overpromise and never underpromise, so that you are able to tell people what exactly you can deliver. And if you can't deliver, even if you've promised something and then you realize you can't deliver, tell it easily. It wouldn't harm to tell someone, hey, I cannot deliver that. I already said that I will do this, but I cannot do it. So that you don't end up having your word actually working against you, or you don't end up having your word becoming your poison. Because sometimes you could tell someone or promise someone something, then after some time you end up becoming the same words that you gave to someone becomes the poison that actually ends up killing you. So if we have the same team that I was having, or rather if we have someone else who is joining us, we can be able to continue having this conversation. And if you want to join us, you can always write to us right there, and we can always send you our Zoom link, or rather our link on how you can join our conversations. And sometimes we're going to be posting that link right there, so that we can open it to public, and so that you can be able to tell us your comments and be able to contribute into the topic whenever we have such a topic. And because I love the moment whereby Kenyans, or rather people from all over the world, can be able to join our hands and join minds and be able to look at conversations and look at the solutions that we have around the world, so that we can solve these menace of mental health challenge and depression and much more. Because so many people are suffering because of lack of finances, lack of jobs, and so much more, like we had there from my team and from the people that are joining us from wherever they are. And I'm telling you, life is not that difficult. It's only that sometimes we take life as if it's so difficult, and then we put things in our hearts, and then we put it in our mind, and we have clogged mind. And it's high time for you to unclog your mind and think outside the box, so that you can be able to handle matters as they happen, and sometimes even forgive yourself and understand yourself very well, and know what exactly it is that you want to do. And especially when you have something to do and you have goals, write them on a paper. You may not achieve the goals today. You cannot achieve everything every day, every time. Like sometimes it takes time for you to be able to achieve something that you have in place, especially if the goal is a long-term goal that you have been there for quite some time. If you have a goal and you have a challenge, or rather you have something that you want to solve, take your time. Forgive yourself. Do not just be too harsh on yourself. Sometimes take time to analyze the situation. And then after analyzing the situation, don't get immediate solutions. And there is one saying that I love to say that helps me a lot, that these too shall pass. Every situation shall pass. Look back and see the situations where you were thinking that this will never pass, and you had challenges that you thought this is the end of life. There are sometimes you had challenges that you thought this one will never go, and you thought this is the end of life. But then as time went on, this problem got lost, and you even forgot that you had that challenge. Suppose you foresaw, or rather you looked at it ahead and you thought, hey, this problem is not going to persist. Remember, that problem could not have given you stress. It is just because sometimes we act on impulse. So the best way and the most amazing way to overcome stress is to not act on impulse. Like when you have a challenge, you don't have to act immediately. Sometimes take time. Take your own time. It is well to have a challenge. It is well to have a problem. It is okay when you have something disturbing you, and it is normal to have stress. Stress is a way of life. It's you are a human being, and as a human being you cannot just always miss something. So sometimes you could be having things that are not working in place. You have visions, you have dreams, you have goals, you have things that you want to achieve in the next short-term goals and even long-term goals. But then as time goes on, you realize that these goals, even if I want to achieve them, they are taking time. I am not able to achieve this and this and this. It is nice to divide all those things into shorter goals. Even if you have a long-term goal that you want to do something for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, take your time and break those things into short-term goals, whereby you say, now I have a 1 year goal, but then I want to break it into weekly. So this week I'll do this week I'll do this. Because Rome was not built in one day. It took time to build Rome, and even thinking and creating that concept was part of the building. Even the meetings that they had before they created Rome, it was part of the process. So believe the process. Believe in the process, and usually believe that everything is a process, and believe in the process. Growth is a process, and there are series of events that you have to put in place for you to be able to accomplish that process. If you do this, I believe and I declare that you're not going to be having stress that is going to be disturbing you, and you're not going to be one of the people that will be in the headlines that you took away your own life. Or rather, it's not going to be you undergoing the next depression, because you will not be acting on impulse, and you will be able to break your goals into smaller short-term goals that will be able to take you to the next significant goal that you have. And always speak it out to the people that you have around your life, to end it up there, to say that you should always tell the people you have around that you have a specific thing that you're working on. Like, for example, if you have job that you have to work from home, especially this period or this season, tell the people that are in the house that it is my working hours, so that they know they don't have to disturb you during that period, so that you don't feel like you are obligated to do things, and at the same time you're obligated to deliver to the people around you, and at the same time you're obligated to serve people that are within your area. So as you try to bring all these two things together, you realize that you are stressing your body, stressing your mind, and giving yourself too much things to do, that you even sometimes you feel the loss of your own interest in doing your own goals or achieving your own goals. So that being said, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for subscribing in our channel. Thank you for being part of our viewers. And remember, we always offer marketing opportunities for you from wherever you are. We have amazing videos of the people that have wanted to market their businesses, and definitely we have Eva Gitaka, who always goes around getting businesses and getting to know what exactly people want to sell, or rather what people are selling. And when Eva Gitaka visits you in your shop, she's gonna look around and check what exactly you have, how are you selling, and we are going to run that video right here, courtesy of broadcast media, graphics broadcast media, and we're gonna be running it at Live Now. We're gonna be running it in all our channels. Remember, you're always able to get us whenever we are live at ENTV Live Facebook. You get us at Kitengela TV on Facebook and on YouTube, and also you get us at Live Now Africa on YouTube, and also livenow.co.ke/KTV, so that we can be always talking and taking these conversations to the next level. And you have a business that you want to market, you can always call us on 0798 155 000. 0798 155 000 is the number to call if you have a business that you want to market, especially during this COVID-19 season. I have been your host, Gerald Paul, and courtesy of our team here at Graphics Broadcast Media, I want to say thank you so much for joining us, and we are saying take care of your mental health. We're going to take this conversation to the next level, and next time you're coming here, we're going to be having a bigger team able to discuss about this issue, because it's an issue that needs a lot of time so that we can help our people to heal. And that having been said, I'll say goodbye and have a good night, and see you another time.
Every day we keep learning new things. Imagine, nimekuwa nikiimba hii song ya Sia ya kitambo, chandelier. So I'm like, what the heck is that? Kumbe ni hizi ziko hapa tu, kumbe tuko nazo Kenya. Imagine achini ku underestimate Kenya. That's supposed to be for me, najikonsole mwenyewe. But anyway, guys, today, right now, tumewaletea vitu mingi, but right now we're going to go exclusive, Strength of a woman. We got you here. This lady here akona some amazing chandeliers. Like nimeziangalia tu hivi na shanga, like mnatafutanga hizi vitu wapi, because this is the one for you. Hi. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Carol.
And what do you do?
I deal with interior decor and lighting.
Usikie hizo majina zangu. Anyway, so hapa tumekuja kuadvertise these things. Oh my God. So how's the business been for you?
Business has been good. Of course, it slowed down during COVID. Yeah, but we are hopeful it will get better.
Is there a way tunaweza ku reach, like Instagram, Facebook, anywhere?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, Toplight Holdings, Toplight Ltd. I'm on Facebook, still Toplight Ltd. Yeah.
Oh, what do you have in store for us?
We have a variety of interior decor. Yeah. Definitely you won't find it elsewhere in Kitengela. You can come have a look at what we have.
Yes. Please, guys, follow me. As in, tunakatu vizuri from the outside. Like, as in, what more do you need? Goodness.
So now, here we have solar lighting for security. We have solar floodlights and street lights for security.
So tuko ndani, finally my G's, Toplight Limited. This is, I was not to talk about this place because it is the place for you. Sitachoka kusema. So would you mind showing us a few samples of your amazing? Okay, sawa.
Yeah, now here we have what we call the marble contact paper. It's waterproof. You can have it on your surfaces, the kabatis. You can have it on the walls in the bathroom, in the kitchen. Basically, any surface that you want to change the appearance.
Mothers, I know you're smiling at this. Kitchen is this.
Yeah, then here we have the wallpaper, like what I have on the wall.
Yeah.
Again, it can be used on the walls. You're tired, maybe you used to paint, you're tired of your old paint, you want to change, to transform your house instantly. Yeah. You can use wallpaper. Yeah. It gives you color and texture. Yeah, so you're able to incorporate color and texture to your room. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then here I have what you call the PVC wall sticker. It is also waterproof, and it's a peel and stick. Again, for your walls, you can also have it on your ceilings. This is still more of wallpaper. Then I have this. This is called leather wall panel. It's soundproof. It is what is used in studios. I'm sure even in some of the boardrooms you've seen this. It is able to muffle sound, and it looks very good in your interior. It's also a bit unique. Then, like you can see up here, I have chandeliers. I didn't leave out the babies. Most of the time we forget about the kids. Yeah. So I have chandeliers for the babies, both boys and girls, just to add a bit of glam to their rooms. Yeah. Then, we have something here. This is called a bamboo panel, again for your walls. You can have it done on either your walls and ceilings. It comes as a plain panel. Then once it is installed, you can have an option of leaving it as a plain panel or having it painted to whichever color you desire. Then I still have chandeliers. Like you can see, I have a bit of unique chandeliers. Like this, when it's off, it's a wall decal. When it's on again, it's a light. It acts as a light. Then I have antique lighting, rustic lighting. Yeah, we have a bit of rustic lighting. Yeah, and the normal sockets. We have sockets, switches, more chandeliers there. Yeah, so that's what Top Light is all about.
This is totally amazing, and hata sikuwa nadhani such things could be found in Kitengela. First thing that comes to your mind, I'm sure, like, okay, this is Potatu Nairobi. Child, this is the place for you. She got you covered. Bain in Zuri, as in, don't need to be shocked.
You can come to the shop. We are located directly opposite the mosque along Namanga Road. That's next to Safaricom and AAR. You can also reach us on Instagram, Toplight Ltd. You can reach us on Facebook, Toplight Ltd. Our website is www.toplightltd.co.ke. Yeah, and you can reach us on phone 0721 485 172. Yeah.
Guys, natumai hizo notebooks zimejaa my number by now. Because you just can't leave this station having not learned anything. Shame on you. But like, thank you so much for being with us and for guiding us. We have personally nimelan mengi like sikuwa najua unaweza stikisha mavitu kwa ukuta. And mothers tumeona hizo vitu za kitchen. Got you covered, girl. So again, thank you so much, and we hope that your business flourishes even more than